The force of gravity is a force created by gravity. The force of gravity is a force created by gravity.
According to the general theory of relativity, gravity is not a force. There are no gravitational fields. Gravity is kind of an illusion.
The force of gravity is a force created by gravity.
According to the general theory of relativity, gravity is not a force.
The force of gravity is...
You are so dumb. Damn.
And we're off. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. I'm going to shift on over to Discord, see if Betty's there. We were having some sound problems previously, and I hope she recovered. Let's find out. The beautiful Betty Van Velsen.
Yeah, I hear something else.
Oh, you're still low.
Yeah, but I hear something else through... Oh my god, it might be me. Ooh. Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, we hear something in your background.
Oh, now I have to find out in which tab that is.
Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know Betty Van Velsen, she is not tabless. She has many, many tabs open continuously without shutting her computer off.
Yeah, I heard somebody else does that too. Heard that today. I'm not going to say who.
Yeah,
but
good luck finding that, girl.
I did. It was you.
I did. It was me. What the heck? What?
Yeah, I had the watch page on and I just forgot to mute the sound.
I need to turn you up to 200%. Go ahead, give me a radio check.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened. I did reboot my computer. I have everything maxed out. I have no idea.
Okay, you're sounding okay. I mean, you're coming through pretty good. I mean, you're a perfect candidate to get rumpus today.
Well, what else is new?
Yeah, that's true. And here comes the poster child. Hey, Adam.
Oh, that's good. It doesn't say anything.
There we go. I can rumpus her now. She started tweaking. There we go.
You were waiting for that classic, dude. Thank you.
Evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Sneaky one.
oh, and you can right-click on Betty's name and turn her volume up yourself, Kiwi, if you want.
I just did. I said I just turned her up to 200%.
Oh.
Yeah, in Discord or on your voice meter?
In Discord.
Okay.
I can turn you guys up for me. Okay, radio check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3.
I hear you a little bit better now. As long as you're not hearing any back feed through my mic, we're good right there.
I don't know what happens. They do this on purpose, right? Every time there's an update, something else goes wrong.
If it's a Windows update, you got to be real careful because it's sound. And sometimes it doesn't do anything. Other times it'll pick and choose, like Skype. It'll zero it out. Or Discord, it'll just change them at random, both the input and the output. So you got to be real careful. You got to check them every single time you get an update.
I think that with the updates, they are more and more listening to us.
You think?
Yeah, AI is I'm thinking learning from us how to beat us.
How to beat us?
Yeah. Didn't you know that there was an AI that was asked how he would what he thought of humans and what he would do to us?
I missed that one. I'll wait for the book.
Well, the movie's already out.
Skynet.
It's called Terminator.
It's called Skynet.
Exactly. Yeah, Terminator then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's up into the break? What's up, guys out there? I'm just checking out everyone in chat. Got a few people in here already. Oh, got 17. My God, don't trip over yourselves.
There's something funny in the chat. Divergent Droid says who is in the panel, and he says in brackets the beautiful Betty van Vels.
Yes.
It doesn't need those quotation marks. It just am.
Oh, he
Read
put,
the quote.
too funny. Go ahead, Adam. I rumbushed you a little bit. Go ahead.
No, it's not. It's not fingers in the air. It's a fact. I like it, Betty.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So what's up for today?
We got Duper Poons. Pooper Scooper in the chat says gas pressure can. This is Einsteinian level intelligence. Listen to this one. Gas pressure can exist without a container, flat earthers. It's called wind.
Wow.
Is he
As
claiming
opposed-
gravity is keeping gas pressure on Earth?
He's talking about dynamic gas pressure, but he probably doesn't know what that is.
Is that also gravity then?
It still requires containment ultimately.
Mm.
In fact, it requires containment to be generated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, well, when they say gravity, they're saying that the gravity keeps the gas molecules on Earth as well as it keeps us on Earth. That's the container, gravity.
Unbelievable. Why aren't we having one-way wind anyways?
God, say that again, Betty.
Why don't we have one-way wind?
If you were believed, Betty, in an Earth that was always accelerating upwards like QE does,
OMG.
you would have an upward wind, wouldn't you?
Betty, you missed
It wasn't my claim, Betty, right? He came,
Betty.
he goes, he turns up on Flat Earth Debate,
Yeah.
right? And he says, what's a balloon going backwards got to do with an upward accelerating Earth? Making a claim as far as I could see. And he's yet to rebut it. He just keeps saying that, oh my God,
Watch his
can't
word.
believe you didn't know I was an upward earther.
Unbelievable that they would take that, and Adam ran with it just like Nathan did. He's
running.
Nathan's thinking I'm making this claim. I don't think he thinks that. I just think he portrayed that just to be a monkey in the friggin' wrench. And then Adam caught on. You can't get him off it now. He just brings it up.
Yeah,
know.
they're riding the same bus together. Aren't they?
I remember a
But-
cow looking a cow in the ass, right? So that's it.
Yeah.
Our bus is going from A to B. It's not going from A to B, but also upwards.
Oh, brother.
So wait a minute, John. Is this really a sort of a revelation that you sort of?
It's not mine, Betty, for sake.
I mean, that makes you maybe a shill from the Flat Earth Society.
Yeah.
Is it now all coming out?
No, Betty, this is what happens when you have a man crush on a man named Dell.
Betty knows. Betty has known.
Oh, we may begin.
Yeah,
So,
I just caught that, so let's begin. Betty's
I thought he
known.
was coming in to attack the Sparrow.
No, he's not going to do that. And we're misportraying it like he misportrayed my argument. So let's come clean. It's not that he just feels a little uncomfortable with the Sea Sparrow because he doesn't have a military background. I can understand that, so I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Still, it feels like a little bit like letting you go.
No, not at all.
Oh, well, it
There's a
doesn't-
lot of things.
Like he
There's a lot-
misportrayed.
Hold on. There's a lot of things we don't have a background on, but we could see that it's evidence. Correct?
Yeah, it feels like he's throwing you under the bus, QA, to me.
I don't think so. You're just trying to create drama.
Invite. Yes.
Yeah, an infight and drama. It would never happen. Between Nathan and I over that many years, I don't think there has been. It's not that I don't think there hasn't been one issue, not even one, not even even in the minutia, nothing.
Watch
Yeah.
next week. big brawl. Nathan against QE.
Next week, big brawl.
Oh, I made the thumbnail already.
Yeah. Yeah. Now with me and Betty over the past 7 years, holy shit.
Yeah. And it's all your fault.
Yes, I figured as much.
That's the correct way to say it.
Rich R is asking me in chat. I don't usually go to chat, but it just turns out that I have it popped up in here. He says, QE going to be in Vegas in October for Flattoberfest. I will never go to Las Vegas again for any reason.
Ooh, it's of the devil, isn't it?
They do call it the Devil's Den.
I've been there many times in the past, but no, I will not be going. Should I go there? For what reason should I go there?
Now, maybe to meet up with Nathan's sister.
Nathan's sister?
Yeah, look at the chat.
Oh,
Nathan said, even when he slept with my sister, we were still cool.
We were still cool.
only because you didn't have to pay him, Nathan.
Oh my goodness.
Damn, the numbers
He
are kicking.
started it. He started it.
The numbers are kicking up. They're ready for this Sea Sparrow, man. This, we haven't talked about the Sea Sparrow in a long time, man.
Yes, last week we did.
Okay, besides the rudimentary discussion on it last week.
Rudimentary. We nailed it then.
Bottomed it, didn't we? We absolutely covered every point. Top to bottom.
We
All
did
we
not
had left-
cover every point.
I'm pretty sure we did. We talked ones, we talked twos, we talked the differences between them, the implications of that, why we liked one more than a two.
How we liked one more than, that's not that we liked it more than the two.
Okay, people can look at last week's show, and then we go. Right?
Give a look at last week's show. What the hell are you talking about?
Then we already handled this stuff.
I can't give a look at it.
Not in detail. We're going to get into detail today, correct?
Oh, okay, Neil.
So Betty's got it. She's got something up in her bonnet, boy.
Let's get into the nitty gritty.
You just want to go? I'm not ready. I haven't even got it pulled up.
Come on and nip it in the butt.
Nip it in the butt. Hey, somebody said nip it in the butt. I think it was Brian who said it today. I just snickered.
It catches on.
It's a mute point, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't say that anymore because Timmy hasn't been around in a while, and new people won't get that. They'll think we're morons.
Well, they'll think that anyway.
It wasn't Brian, it was Arvin who said it.
I think Brian said it too, so it might have been two that said it.
Well, that makes sense if Arvin does it, because he might think the same thing.
He even admitted, because we went over a video where Arwen was on Flatsoy's channel, and I had some consternation, for lack of a better term, with it. So we reviewed a video he was on, and he started out, I would say I might be mischaracterizing it a little bit, but he started out with handing the Globetard a force, even though a weak force. And I took umbrage with it, just knock him off right at the ankles, just cut him down. But, Arwen likes to play with his food. But he admitted to me that when he was trying to play with his food, when he was giving him the force of gravity, he told me that I was in the back of his head while he was saying it. So that is a concession that he is well aware of what he should be doing.
Which is what?
Well, you just kill gravity, right off the bat. If you think gravity's a force, like Craig, then fight tight shirt did. If you listen to the show, it's a cluster screw. I mean, there is no gravity, and the gravity doesn't exist.
What you do, Betty, is you listen to a fellow flat earther from Flat Earth Debate saying on the same show, "Can we have a definition of gravity, please?"
That's true, but the main point was, is gravity a force? Everyone knows it doesn't exist, but down to the particular point of, is gravity, when Arwen gave him that it was a force or a weak force, now you know our comeback that gravity is not a force, right?
Yeah.
How many
Yeah,
times have we
nobody would
said
get
that?
up. Why would anybody get up in the morning? Huh?
Yeah, so, and Arwen, like I said, he gave him that. He had an end or a means to his end, but I just wish he would have killed it quick. It would have saved time, but he wanted to play with his food. It turned out in the end okay, though.
Well, yeah.
It's good fun, this. I've got to go on Flatzoids more, so I can be appraised. 'Cause it's all right sitting there in hindsight, but dealing with a retard in real time is more difficult. It's like juggling cats, isn't it?
Juggling what?
Cats.
Cats. Oh, okay.
Meow.
Well, I tried juggle one, and it's
Yeah, that's his point.
Yeah.
she didn't do my pants okay. And now I have to buy new ones.
Betty, you're overthinking it, Betty.
Sorry. Go on.
No, I was just saying you're overthinking it, juggling cats bit.
No, I thought it was a good analogy.
I thought there was more to the juggling cats thing.
Oh, brother.
I thought it was
that's
hardcore.
well, that's why I said you're overthinking it. Just picture in your mind somebody trying to juggle cats with their claws coming out, their back arched up. You notice one thing about a cat? A dog, you got to pet a dog. A cat, you just put your
Holy
hand there,
God.
they do the rest of the work.
Oh, well, what color was the cat?
But, wait a minute. I want to know what Neil said about the cat. But the cat, you can't pet the cat?
He's going off
No.
a different tangent. Betty, you're an enabler.
Yeah, I am.
You never notice, Betty, how a cat does all the work? It's an old George Carlin joke. You just put your hand there and the cat arches up his back and does all the work for you.
Well, that's first. Usually dogs are more like obedient than cats.
Hey, what's up, Jenna? Dave Scott, all you guys out there, YouTube. Duper pooper.
Yeah. Also, Kim is here.
Is she?
Yeah. She said hi.
She said
Hola.
She's
She
where?
said hola, folks.
Hola. Is she in Discord or is she on the YouTube stream?
On the YouTube stream, as
Oh.
far as I can see. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Maybe she will join later. I don't know.
All right. Anything else before we get started? Like I said, I don't even have the presentation pulled up. Anything else?
The last update on your bow stuff.
People don't want to hear about my bow stuff, man.
Finally, he catches on.
I finally caught on after how long?
One whole show about bows.
Did we do a whole show about bows?
Yes, when you came back from the TAC.
From TAC, yeah. Okay.
You
yeah.
were all on about it. Nobody had any word in.
It was kind of a little mini series as well. Right.
Shut up, Betty.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's it. Betty finds that funny. She's going to keep laughing.
Absolutely.
It's not that funny.
See, the thing is, you can laugh, but the story's not finished, is it? Where it ended, he'd binned Sexy Bow Beast. He was on this new trip, and maybe it's next year we find out the culmination of the story. But to me, the story's not finished, John. So you shouldn't just bin it. You know what I mean? We need to know.
Oh crap! I gotta. I'm not even paying attention to you, Adam.
Don't blame you. I was just trying to justify bringing back some bow stories.
Go live. 1 second. Let me get this thing going. Sorry, Adam. I didn't mean to be rude. There you go.
But you were, nonetheless.
So I had to share it. Can everyone see my screen in Discord?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. You want to just do it?
Are
Do
you
it.
Yes.
all of a sudden? Okay, yeah. I'll go.
Go to flat. Let's do it the appropriate way. What are we going to do next week before we get started? We're going to do flight?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
because then you'll kick off with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
right.
do flight. You do yours, I'll do mine, and then we can argue.
Yeah.
Do you have your planes flying backwards, Adam?
It's not within my presentation, but I suppose ultimately it would be a consequence.
It would be a consequence.
Oh, we have the Black Swan to do. Ooh.
So who do you fight with that one over?
That's
Take it.
been debunked, though, hasn't it?
Yeah. Living and Salt. Let's go with the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile. So I think we'll do flight next week.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. Let Adam present as well, and then you guys can indeed fight.
We ain't gonna fight.
Brian will love that.
Yeah, we ain't gonna fight about it. But we both know what we're talking about on it, and it's just a minor schism. It's minutia.
Schism or chasm?
Schism.
It's not even a schism.
Okay.
It's a disagreement on the best way to present it.
Yes.
I don't. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
It's
then
nothing
we can have
papal.
a show about that. How to present.
No, not how to present. It's in the description. It's not. It's just one small piece of it that Adam has a incoherent issue with.
There's 3 layers. Well, there's 3 layers. There's your very simple, basic layer that is.
Do you like that, Betty?
Yeah, how you sneak that word in, like incoherent. Did you even hear that, Adam?
No, because I was trying to get a secondary insult in on top. I did, and which I will proceed with in a minute.
Wait, he called you incoherent, but you came back and said
I did
very
not.
basic.
I did not call him incoherent. I said that he has an incoherent issue with, not that he's incoherent.
So as I was saying, there's 3 levels to this. The more basic entry level that QE presents, a more sophisticated intellectual, which takes more factors into consideration within the ball claim, or there's the completely over the top, smack your head around the pillar with Brian's fulfillment of flight. He takes your pick, your choice, and that's the point. It's not a schism. It's where. How much do you want to play with your food? Is the way I'd put it.
Sure. Yeah, it's 3 different minor takes. I think Brian that's a little different spin, but the lack of schism between me and you is a particular point. That's a descriptive point. We'll get into it next week, I suppose. Okay.
It's funny that the further along we get into this and into the letter, that amongst ourselves we have now little schisms.
You like that word, don't you?
Yeah, and
It's not a schism.
I like schisms and also precipice.
What?
Precipice.
Precipice. It's the Principia, not the precipice.
Now the precipice is
Yeah.
also a sort of a valley or a chasm or some sort of an abyss, right?
A precipice?
Yeah.
It could be. Or you could be on top of a mountain.
And then looking down.
Yes.
Is that a precipice?
Yeah, when you're on the edge of the sort of a cliff type of thing, yeah.
But isn't that where you think you are, on top of the mountain?
I'm not on top of the mountain. I'm in my house in Missouri. There are no mountains particularly where I'm at.
Not literally, but figuratively.
Top of the mountain of what?
King of the mountain.
King of the mountain of what?
Flat Earth. Flat Earth Queen. Remember?
I'm not the flat Earth queen. It's just backhanded slights. It's just like it's never ending. You're always, as soon as you get on the show, it's like, okay, let's see how we can tear this guy down.
It's like breathing with Betty now.
I think people like it when you defend yourself, and it's really cute.
Sure. So do you want to get on with the presentation, or do you want to continue with this blather?
No, you go ahead.
All right. So the evolved Sea Sparrow missile, this is the Block 1 Sea Sparrow. I nicked this many years ago from an interview Mark Sargent had with a naval educator. He actually taught this in the Navy. The ins and outs, the technical aspects of the Sea. I don't think it was only the Sea Sparrow missile. I think he was some type of missile guidance. He was in a school that was teaching on missile guidance, something to that effect. But yeah, I nicked it off him. It definitely came after. This was my number 2 argument. Came pretty quickly after the Solar argument. So I polished it a bit. I tried to get in touch with the gentleman in the Navy that Mark was talking about, and I emailed him a number of times, but I never got a response from him. I think I didn't hear much after that from him, and I think that he may have received some less than ideal attention. How about that? That's the impression that I got. I can't confirm that, but that's what I got from it. But I wanted to give you the history of it and where I nicked it. So let's get into it. What the heck is it? Right? So general characteristics. What you do in the military when you want to know something for fact. You see this mill right here. www. That mill sign right there. That's where you go. Just a heads up. So, from Navy.mil, general characteristics, and we're talking about the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile, Block 1. The primary function, surface to air and surface to surface radar guided missile. I don't know for how long and how many times that incoherent numpty dipshit baltards would say, why are you talking about the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile? It's a surface-to-air missile. Even after I posted this to them and spoke to it into their faces, they would still come back the next day and say, the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile is a surface-to-air missile, QE. I shit you not. I don't know how many times. That's including, who is that idiot? Because, like I said, this is pretty old. Wolfie! Wolfie! I was on his channel just dragging all his numpty dipshits by the hair because he wouldn't speak, right? For the longest time. It was a really long thread. And he finally spoke up. Guess what he said? Just surface-to-air missile, Kiwi. You can't make this stuff up. So, baltards, go get your slobber nurses and your therapist, and we'll read this together. This is from Navy.mil. The primary function, surface to air and surface to surface. You see that part? Oh. All right. So the bistatic semi-active seekers in the nose of a missile receive a reflected signal from a target that is being illuminated with an RF signal transmitted from a fire control radar. This is a very important point right here. Transmitted from a fire-controlled radar on a standoff platform, aircraft or ship. Mainly these are ship. Such systems require that the platform maintain line of sight. Another key point. To the target until it is engaged by the missile. Ship-based Standard Missile and NATO Sea Sparrow AAW missiles are examples of such semi-active mode. See this fire control radar part, folks? That's what that is. See that? That's what that is. So remember that part. So it's got to fire that laser 2-degree pencil beam to the target. It must have, obviously, to hit the target with a laser, you must have a line of sight. It's implicit. Okay? And in this particular case with the Block 1, this has to be on the same ship that the launcher is. We'll get into the Block 2 here in a little bit, but it's more or less irrelevant to my point with the Block 1. But this and this have to be on the same ship. There are no handoffs with the Block 1. So the range is more than 35 miles. Now, they won't get into specifics. They're not going to give out the maximum effective range. They're not going to do that. However, they did give us a bone from navaltechnology.com that it's more than 35 miles. That's killer right there for the Globetard. It's over right there. So the target is illuminated, like I said before, with a 2-degree RF pencil beam, which has to be maintained, that is, painted on the target until detonation. At a more than generous 50 feet elevation above sea level, where I put that on the ship, about 50 feet, I would say that's fair. That's the target illumination radar height. The target should be hidden behind 463 feet of curvature. So please explain how you can have line of sight 35 miles away on a spinning monkey ball by showing how a 2-degree RF pencil beam can penetrate 463 feet, that's 141 meters, of target hidden height through a wall of water 26 miles in length. That's what you got to show. Never going to happen. Why? Because it's delusional incoherency. PS 35 miles, like I said above, 35 miles is lowballing. The official max effective range is classified. It's much, much greater than 35 miles. I don't need it to be. I just need it to be 10 miles and it's over at 50 feet. So, in conclusion, either A, the Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile Block 1 exists, or B, the spinning ball space monkey religion exists. Both can't be true at the same time. Savvy? That's rhetorical. Get a little bit more specific. See if you could follow this. The range of the ESSM Block 1 is 50 kilometers. Actually, it's much farther. We talked about that above classified. Number 2, the target must be illuminated by RF pencil beam via target illumination radar on the launch ship for the weapon system to engage. Ergo, it must have line of sight. Number 3, the target illumination radar and the Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile Block 1 must be on the launch ship. We'll get into that here in a couple seconds. Number 4, surface targets, ships. The main target for the Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile are sea skimmers. Sea skimmers. These are 10 to 30 feet above the water coming in. So they're real low to the water. So what do you pray tell we can use those sea skimmers as? Pretty much anything on the surface. Most buildings are higher than 10 feet. You see where I'm going with this, right? So surface targets are engaged by the ESSM Block 1 from the launch ships. Number 5, the horizon at 50 feet elevation, according to the curve calculators, is, that, like I said, 8.65 miles. Ergo, the limit of line of sight on a sphere is 8.65 miles at that elevation. Number 6, the Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile Block 1 can engage surface targets from ships at anything greater than 8.65 miles. That's 13.9 kilometers, and it most assuredly can. Then the Earth must be flat. It's just as simple as that. I put a modus tollens to it just to grind it in. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, P, then illuminating surface targets, including sea skimmers, you see how I did that, with an RF pencil beam would be limited to 8.65 miles, Q. Not Q, surface targets are illuminated, then engaged at distances greater than 4 times that limit, therefore not P, the Earth is not a sphere. Prosecution rests simple. They live in a fairy tale, the end. Let's go over typical baller rebuttals, other than the one that I told you about above with them not understanding that it's also a surface-to-surface missile. So, baller rebuttal, but the missile and target illumination radar don't have to be on the same ship. This just showed ignorance. This is an old one that came out of the gate. A lot of people have been handed their ass so many times, they don't come out with this. Only newbies would come out with this. Let me show you. From Raytheon. Listen closely. Unlike, very important term there, unlike the RIM-7 Sea Sparrow missile and the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile Block 1, Block 2's active seeker will support terminal engagement without the launch ship's target illumination radars. So, let me try to break this down to you. It says unlike. Okay, that means the RIM-7 Sea Sparrow and the ESSM Block 1 is the opposite of this statement. It has to be on the launch ship. You see how I did that? It's called reading comprehension. Ooh, I heard some rustling in the background. This means the RIM-7, I just said it again. This means the RIM-7 Sea Sparrow and the ESSM Block 1 must have the target illumination radar on and the missile on the launch ship. The ESSM Block 2 now, doesn't need the launch ship's target illumination radar on the ship, but the Block 2 Evolved Sea Sparrow missile isn't going to be ready until 2020. Now, I did this back in 2016. Right? So this has already been released, but it's moot anyway. Right? There's a distinguished and substantial difference between the Block 1 and Block 2, and that's a big one right there. So from docshouse.gov, the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile Block 2, an improved short-range ship-based missile that counters attacks by multiple cruise missiles at low altitude, as well as adversary jamming and radar deception. It will be fielded in 2020, like I just said, with 80 missiles going to the fleet. I haven't followed up with this because, like I said, it's moot point. Doesn't have anything to do with my argument with the Block 1. Ergo, please tell me how the ESSM Block 1 has been engaging surface-based targets at more than 50 kilometers with the target illumination radars on launch ships for the past 15 years at that specific time. Why do I say that? Back to Navy.mil. The first production of the ESSM was delivered in late 2002 to the U.S. Navy by Raytheon Missile Systems and has been in full operational use since 2004. Game, set, match. That's not check, folks. That's checkmate. Fairy tale ball-tard spinning space monkey religion just crashed and burned with such ferocity it would make Steve Austin's $6 Million Man Crash and Burn look like a fender bender. There she is, baby. Game, set, match. Questions, comments? Is anyone still out there?
I wonder if Adam has
I was
any
just waiting for Betty so I
remarks
could rumpus her.
Ah, cool.
if Adam has any remarks on the way QE presented it here.
That was a nice refresh, to be fair. It's ages since we've gone through it, so like I said, we all know all you got to do is see the ballers. They don't know the difference between a 1 and a 2.
All I understand.
Yeah.
I don't know why Nathan dislikes it. Well, I think it's terrible the way he's attacked you on this.
Get him in here.
It's not, like I said, it's not that he dislikes it. He just doesn't feel comfortable with it because he doesn't have a military background. Yeah, it's sort of weaselly because I think you could get around having a military background and to speak to this. I think it's pretty cut and dry.
You weren't there when he said, "Why is QE pumping this shit?"
No, I wasn't there. Did he say that?
Pumping that shit.
Hold up. I didn't even ask you for it, and you gave it to me. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, my lovely wife.
Time for your fruit.
Food
Right?
delivery. Yes, it is fruit. Can you guess?
Banana
Banana.
And
Please.
or orange?
Dave breaks the silence. Way to go, man. Dave, super
And-
chat. Oh, that's you, Betty.
Dave Scott, I understand the sea sparrow, but how does it apply to archery?
Well, you got to have a line of sight with, well, Let me
You
take-
don't have line of sight.
let me take that back.
With the peep.
Don't even start with the peep issues.
Troubles, people. Peeps. You have peep trouble.
so
Thanks,
wait,
Dave.
there's globe debunkings, right? And there's flat Earth proofs. So gas pressure out of container would be a debunking of their supposed model, which they don't have, correct?
Yep.
But this is a proof of flat Earth, right?
Yes.
Because it's line of sight, right?
Yes.
Okay,
In context, this is a flat Earth proof. Yes.
got it.
Now,
Yeah.
it's also hand in hand a globe debunking because you can't have that far of a flat surface, just like the solar, on a sphere. So it goes hand. It's like, therefore, the globe Earth's debunked also. You can't have them. It's a dichotomy. Follow?
Or you could believe, Neil, that the US Navy went to sea with missiles loaded on the boats that gave them about an 8-mile range.
Eight
Oh.
mile range.
Yeah, didn't you
That's
listen to the
point.
presentation?
Yeah. That would be the consequence, Neil, of Earth curve. That's what QE pointed out there. That's what it was a nice
Right.
little
So
reflector.
that's the debunking, right?
Well, no, it's not necessarily debunking unless the consequence is that the US Navy went out with ships knowing they could only shoot 8 miles. Years. Till they got number 2. Really?
Can I just say that one of the uses of that Sea Sparrow system, the ESSM Block 1, was to pinpoint, not so much to shoot out of the air, but to pinpoint low-flying aircraft for the US Navy on the coast and different things. And so they always work below 100 feet. Because
Yeah,
go on.
No, yeah. I mean, you're correct. That's one reason. Well, and the sea skimmers fall into that category. They're just a bit lower.
Yeah, it was just there was low. I think it was used for low flying aircraft, maybe trying to come in. Could be drug aircraft around off of Florida and places where if they fly below 100 feet, they're below radar. So that means that the instrument, the laser, has to be used below a certain height, or a big part of its use is below a certain height. So it's just an extra. It just doesn't matter, but it's just an extra. The reason I say it is I remember some ballers stating years ago, it pinpoints aircraft, which are miles and miles up in the sky. It's like, no, it's low-flying aircraft that fly below a certain height for radar reasons.
Lost sound.
Moment of silence for the balls.
We lost
Well,
QE.
Neil, while you're there, I was just going to say, I've said 8 miles in terms of the implications of the ball. As you see, the military say at least 35. Probably means a lot more. At that point, we're done. You've got
Right.
and see, no, Nathan doesn't. I've been teasing. Nathan doesn't like it, and because he's not military. But if you've got a citation from, and that bit was new. I've not noticed that before, QE.
What's that?
You've got that citation from .mil. You've got that from there. Well, ouch, is what I'd say. I wasn't aware of that before. That you've got that from them. That's their claim. And like I say, the consequence is, well, otherwise it'd be 8 miles, wouldn't it? Worth doing. If it was only 8 miles. Surface stuff. So, with the citation, I think it strengthens it a load. Because it's the US military that's saying, well, this all dynamics aren't a consequence to us. Don't take it into account with our ballistics. It must be a good banana, this one.
It's not a banana, man.
What is it?
Orange.
Well, just
I
think the
said
same
orange.
thing. It must be a good bowl of fruit there.
Isn't that what they give babies? These fruit juice, like fruit things, to keep them quiet.
Betty, stop mumbling. What did you say?
Isn't that what they give babies? Their fruit paste.
Isn't that what they give babies? What the hell?
Yeah, they
Keep
put
quiet.
some fruit together and you get a little bite of fruit as a baby. I saw that recently, and I'm thinking, you being a bit big baby, maybe.
No, Betty, people eat oranges. You don't have to be a baby.
Oh, now we got it. That it's an orange. Guys, we know it's an orange now.
What the hell? I just said it was an orange. All right, haven't you been keeping up on current events?
No, I'm looking at the TV.
Yep, I figured.
It's supposed to follow. We just got our asses kicked.
I had orange Neil at 3-1. Banana was evens, to be fair. Kumquat was out at 8-1. Great odds for a kumquat. But not bad. I did second guess orange.
Well, what was that movie from where he says, keeping up with current events? We just got our asses. Aliens. Aliens. Yeah, that guy's hysterical.
This orange is good too. Well, listen. If anyone out there wants to come in and I don't, it's a farce for me even to have to say this, to feebly attempt to try to debunk this. I mean, you're going to get your ass burned up, but come on in.
Next week, Brian, was you here when we decided what we're doing next week? I'll let QE finish his last segment.
I wasn't, Adam, no.
Well, next week we're going to do flight. So QE's going to do his entry-level presentation. I said I'll do a more sophisticated version, and then you can go on to the super complex thing.
No, I'll be keeping it as simple as possible. I'll make it super simple. Yeah, flight just, there's no coming back from flight, as QE would say. Just can't.
A return flight.
Yeah, return flight, but
all right, it's terrible. I'm missing 10th, man. I don't know about you. You might be enjoying
I know, yeah.
We'll fly on
unless it's a return flight. Nah, there's no coming back from it. I mean, the simplest way around it is they must oppose the weight with the weight of the plane must be opposed with the lift effect, and you must induce enough lift to oppose the weight. And to induce enough lift, both the wings and the nose of the airplane, due to the wings, have to be above horizontal, as that is the angle of attack that must be taken. Right? So the AOA, or the angle of attack, AOA, right, that is adjacent to whatever to the direction of travel. So if you're 3 or 5 degrees above horizontal, your direction of travel is horizontal. If you're 2 degrees above horizontal, your direction of travel is horizontal. If you're 8 degrees above horizontal, your direction of travel is horizontal, because the amount of above horizontal that the wings need to be is based on the airspeed. There's no way around it. To oppose the weight, you must fly you must fly horizontally. That's to oppose the weight and be able to fly the plane, you must fly horizontally. So anything that would be below horizontal pitch is not opposing the weight. Even with certain wings, like cambered wings, they will lose they lose all positive lift after a couple of degrees below. And it doesn't matter, because anything below horizontal is officially a descent. There's no way out of it. That's just for the curvature. And if we go into the flight paths for the rotation, there's just no way around it. As far as I'm concerned, there's no better proof that the Earth is not a rotating globe than flight. There's just no better one.
Certainly my best presentation.
I love your one. I love the one you do with the accelerometer data. It's epic. Yeah, it doesn't change the direction of down. It's not changing. All the vectors are parallel, with the exception, of some maybe takeoff and landing. Other than that, the vectors are parallel. Even at that, they're probably going to be parallel anyway.
It was just me proving it. I mean, it was just me absolutely proving it beyond argument. What was bloody obvious when you get, and this is the point, isn't it? You all know what happens when you get on a plane. You don't curve down.
Yeah, exactly. The air hostesses must put the lock on the wheels of the carts, because if they don't, they roll backwards. Because the plane is at a slight incline. There's no defeating it.
We've done next week's presentation again, Betty.
Yeah, I
Same as
know.
last week.
I was feeling that. Good. So is that his presentation?
Brian, no. We got pictures.
We got pictures.
I'm going to have maths to go with my one, if I have to add to it.
Well, I'll
Nathan,
stick some numbers in then.
Nathan requested, before you go on, Nathan requested I play this. So, you guys ready? Uh-oh. I'm not sharing. 1 second, guys. All right, you ready?
Got it.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
we got it.
No, gas law. No, I can't.
And we breathe in gas, right?
Yeah.
So containment needed, right?
Yes.
Thank you. You just debunked yourself.
Oh, no, gas law. No, I can't.
And we breathe in gas, right?
Yeah.
So containment needed, right?
Yes.
Thank you. You just debunked yourself.
Oh, no, gas law. No, I can't.
And we breathe in gas, right?
Yeah.
So containment needed, right?
Yes.
Thank you. You just debunked yourself.
Good.
Nice. 10
There's
seconds.
no more numpty clips being made.
There are no more numpty clips being made. That was from Nathan.
Shout out Flatsoid. Great little clip, that.
The opposition seem to be more and more being pulled apart on their lack of understanding of a lot of the claims that they've made over the years. And even the claims, even when they can get something and cite something that states it's a rotating globe, some nonsense that they come up with, when you go through the claim they're making and who's making the whole claim, it always ends up being a stationary flat plane that's needed. There's just no, I don't know where this is leading to. I didn't think it could get this weird for me, but it's getting really weird. The lack of acceptance that's going on out there.
mean, denial.
Yeah, exactly. Denial. Huge amounts of denial.
Did you listen to the opening recording? By chance,
I didn't
anyone?
hear it.
No, no one heard it. Did anyone hear it in Discord? No.
Play it.
I wonder if you'll be able to hear it though in Discord. Maybe. What if I share my screen? Share your screen. Let's try this little maneuver and see if it works.
Thinking the same thing.
Okay, where is it? Okay, let's go to Windows Media Player. This might work.
Looks good.
Looks good. All right, 1 second. There we go.
The force of gravity is a force created by gravity. The force of gravity is a force created by gravity.
According to the general theory of relativity, gravity is not a force. There are no gravitational fields. Gravity is kind of an illusion.
The force of gravity is a force created by gravity.
According to the general theory of relativity, gravity is not a force.
The force of gravity is...
You are so dumb. Damn.
Good.
No, that was not good, was it? I mean, it sounded okay.
I got over and got the sound in the Discord. How you like that little maneuver?
Like it.
Nice, huh?
Throwing shapes, QE.
Yeah.
Perfect. You don't get that on Flat Earth Debate. Brian, note that down for union meetings.
Don't know what more we need to do to expose these retards. I really don't.
Who are the retards that we need to expose?
I'm talking about the old retards that I keep on playing and stuff. We really don't. What more do we need to do?
Anti-flat earthers.
Yes.
Okay.
Anti-intellectuals, more like it.
Yeah, because you need to be careful because there's also new people listening in, and that you can't call them that.
I can't call who that.
People that are just for the first time tuning in and listening to these flat Earth proofs, and then say that they are retards. I mean, come on, right?
Say that who are
So
retards?
you specified it. It's just for the hardcore ballers that we have these trolls out here that can't sort of accept the truth.
So how should I present it?
Well, you would need to present it to people as a proof, of course, right? But you need to be careful to scold people being retards. Specify who this group of people is.
Oh, I got you. I didn't specify exactly who it was to maybe some newbies. Yeah, they're your average anti-flat Earth morons that we've been dealing with for, 6, 7 years. Most of them have gone by the wayside. You have a couple stragglers that are still out there making horses' asses out of themselves. That was another one.
Yep. We have been dealing with many people that stayed on this topic, and once in a while they stick up their heads again with something. But they used to come in, right, in these sort of environments with flat earthers, but now that they have these proofs, they find them more difficult to tackle them, huh?
Nathan said you're telling me off.
Yes, I am telling you off, but yeah.
Kim Hopkins is reinforcing her love for you.
You're not sure about that, huh? Well, I think you need to be careful. There's new people out there, and if they are called retards, they tune out.
I think you already made your point. You want to say it again?
Yes. If you are not. Yeah. And I said something which you didn't respond to, of course.
What?
But why would you, right?
What?
Who cares, John?
I care. I thought I responded appropriately. You might not have heard. Say it again.
I said about these people that we are having tag along, that they once in a while stick their heads up, but they can't tag along with the proofs anymore. They can't do it anymore. That's what I said.
Why should I comment on that? That's a true statement.
Because maybe a yes or a no would be nice, so that you at least acknowledge that I said something.
So say yes.
You guys, you
say hello.
Yeah, you men are impossible.
Oh, brother.
You know what the meaning of conversation is? It's a back and forth, right? It's not an oration of one side or the silence of the other. Yeah, go with the silence again.
Yeah.
Thanks for proving my point.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any more minutia that you'd like to bring up?
No, I'm just now at silence on my part from now.
From now on?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, it won't last, QE.
Yeah, I know it won't.
You men, feminists.
There it is.
No, this is a true fact.
That's a bit redundant.
It's not. It's happening in every household.
A true fact
Men
is redundant.
There is fingers in their ears, or sort of tuning women out.
Oh, here we go. Back on the soapbox again.
Mm-hmm. Speaker's corner.
Speaker's corner.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your next speech on feminism on Speaker's Corner?
I think I've already done.
You've never been to Speaker's Corner.
Sweetheart, this is my speaker's corner.
Oh God! Now we're going metaphor.
Yep, I'm good at that.
Yeah. At the drop of a hat, metaphor.
Is this something you have to buy, Betty, or do you have to learn how to do it?
Nice and Tess. What did she say? I wasn't listening to her.
Is it a device you buy, or do you
What?
have to just learn how to do it to tune women out?
Yeah. No, you have a sort of an internal button that goes off when women speak.
An inmate.
An internal off button. Like it's set to go off when they hear women. It's their voices. It's like off. Don't hear it. If it's not there, I'm not hearing it. It's not there.
Well, haven't you read the Bible? Women want to be silent, Betty.
Well, that's good for you because you guys have that internal button. You don't even need any silence from us.
YouTube said, make me a sandwich, bread maker.
And give me a beer. Redneck.
The trouble with women is they make sweeping generalizations all the time. So.
Anyway, guys, come on.
That was classic. That's pretty good.
Get it going.
Brave. Start picking on you next, Paul. Now you've chirped up.
I liked it when he put on that large, like very masculine sounding voice. Women are making sweeping fallacies.
Sweeping generalizations.
Wow, I didn't know you sounded like that, Paul.
If he wants to, yes, I think so. Well, back to the fruit porridge that John is eating.
Fruit porridge. I already ate that. It's funny that Adam said on his next section, so QE can eat the last section. Number one, how did you know it was cut in sections?
Because married and you've got a good wife. Well, I know if my wife was bringing me an orange, she wouldn't just give it me; it'd be cut.
Very well.
I agree with Adam.
Adam is correct.
I wouldn't. If my wife said bring me an orange, I wouldn't just go, here you go. I'd put it up for her, wouldn't I?
I would say, what the hell you want me to do with this?
So yeah, show me how to do it. Which way? Or
You guys are helpless without women.
The funny thing about that, I was on the second to the last section.
without men, you'd have no shelves to put your oranges on.
That's true. I like men. I like the way they can do stuff that's like really grandiose from time to time. I'm just laying bricks on the floor and make a pavement or a building or handling these large machineries and that sort of stuff. I like that.
Look at Nathan's comment.
You read it.
Mine brings me drinks nestled between her breasts, like every woman, right?
If I can have that in writing as a proven standard, I might apply. I might put that to my wife, Nathan. That is true. Sure.
Poor
I mean, if it's
women.
happening for some men, I've
Poor
heard
women,
that.
if they don't have much wood in front of the stove.
That would be a problem.
Not really. It means she has to bring half pints, which means they're more frequent instead of pints.
More frequent visits, right?
Yeah.
You guys are incorrigible.
That's a $10,000 reward right there.
Incorrigible. Huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Well,
I'm able. Listen, I encourage my children all the time.
What does that have to do with the topic?
A joke.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. Nathan. Okay, a lot of wood in front of the stove.
All right, is that it?
Yeah, I think we are puckered
No.
out.
I've got some Bible stuff.
Bible stuff?
Well, not really Bible stuff. But I was looking into the Essenes last night.
Ooh.
Who are they? Or as
Well,
you
if
know.
you looked at them, who are they?
The Essenes, huh? Interesting. That's a blast from the past. But I'll take a shot in the dark at it. They were the ones that documented the Dead Sea Scrolls, correct?
The Dead Sea Scrolls were attributed to the Essenes.
Okay.
Yes, on first discovery.
Fair enough. See? Wow, that was way back there. I took a gamble on that one.
But were
Next
they
fun
the ones that copied them, or were they the ones that just sort of collected them?
They were attributed to. There's no evidence that the Essenes wrote them, and this is where it gets a bit interesting, and where it probably isn't the Essenes that wrote the stuff at Qumran. So I was looking at a really good presentation. So he what are the literary sources for the Essenes? And so fundamentally, in the New Testament, there were two sects of Judah described, which is the Sadducees and the Pharisees. It's nowhere in the New Testament, first of all, that the Essenes are mentioned. They're not described. In fact, they're kind of ignored. Like I said, they only mention Sadducees and Pharisees. But if you go into it, I think this Pliny.
Pliny or Pliny?
Pliny, if you want. Pliny. The Elder. Ptolemy in Egypt, who's philosophical. So Pliny's a merchant admiral type thing. So he's writing historical stuff. And then there's a guy in Greece. They all mention them, the Essenes, with great praise. They talk about them being the height of in Judea. That's the other guy. It's mentioned in obviously in Josephus.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
So he bothers to mention them and boast about them, and there's kind of an agreement that the Essenes were like, probably we describe the nearest I'd say would be kibbutzi like now, but it was just everything, or the fabric or the food was a communal thing, and people lived like that. Which was kind of what I understood until this guy went into it to point out that the Essenes were all men. The only tribe in history that's maintained itself demonstrably through time by having no women whatsoever.
Like to see how they pulled that off.
This is how. So the Essenes were a group of men that you were free to join if you'd had enough of life or wanted to join a more what would appear to be a very monk-like life. So it was dedicated to living off the land, working together, and then focusing on scripture. And this is described by Pliny and also Josephus. This is their point. The way in which they sustained themselves was not, no women were there, was to have men join them. And this, I said, this is the amazing thing. It sustained itself for what we can see at least prior to 300 BC up until destruction of the temple, and then things get cloudy anyway. This talk, the way it's described from the Egyptian guy, is they've been there at least 1,000 odd years as part of Judaic society, and the same with how Josephus describes it. They're part of that. Probably the point being, that's why it popped in my head, when men have had enough of women, you just go to the Essenes. You can live, chill, read scripture, and no women allowed, which is the point I didn't know. I thought that was amazing. I always assumed it was part of similar cult. Done.
Nice piece of research, Adam.
So then let me ask you a question. Speaking of not having women and things like that, where did the Roman Catholics start with the priesthood that they weren't allowed to marry, and the same thing with the nunnery? How did that come about?
Oh, right.
That's what I was thinking. The scripture that Paul writes, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It was incumbent upon the head priest of Israel, and the time to have two wives. I think there's a quote from Paul. Why can I not have secondary wives? So I like in jealousy to the apostles. I'll have to find it, but I'm sure there's a quote like that, where certainly it was sensible for, or just accepted that was the norm for priests to have wives. It's only modern stuff, isn't it? That's the case. But I think back then it wasn't a point of even contention. And like I said, to the point that actually the head priest should probably have two wives, a backup just in case.
Yeah, because there seems to be a debate with my oldest son, who's a heliocentrist. Now all of a sudden he's like behind Roman Catholicism.
Yeah, but that's the debate they want you to have, isn't it? The diminishment of women, once again. Yeah, should we have one wife, two wives? Disregarding the role of women back then as priestesses and the important role women played in spiritual understanding and how their view and their voice was different and just as important. That's what Roman Catholicism does for me, the diminishment of the female voice. Mary's just stuck up there to apologise to, not listen to.
And isn't it funny that Jesus appeared to a woman first, right?
Who
he rose? According to
who's it
scripture.
left to tell the good news to? Who does Jesus give that message to? He gives it to the women.
Correct. Go tell the apostles who are all scared and hiding that I have risen.
That's who's preaching the good news. Women. They're the ones instructed to go disseminate it. That's not what you see in Roman Catholic Church, and I don't think it's what you see in the early church either. There's jealousy, I think, from the apostles. If you read like Thomas or Mary, those Gospels, you'll see that Mary's an integral part.
The Gnostic Gospels.
Yeah.
Why would I read those?
Well, you wouldn't.
They're not validated.
You don't have to. And I'm not validating it. I don't see what recognizing the role of women in the early church, how that cries any of the Gospels anyway. I'd say you can pull from some of this non-canonical stuff. I'll pull more from it, but it doesn't. I don't see how that would offend a Bible-believing Christian. That
is that the forgotten books of the Bible, the lost books of Eve?
In Thomas, it talks about the disciples after Jesus' crucifixion and death. They say, Mary, tell us some of the things that the Master told you. Mm-hmm. Recognizing that he would have communicated separate things to individuals. I don't see that as a problem. But if you're asking me, do women get diminished over time, particularly in terms of ability to have a matriarchal role in teaching, then that's gone. There is no matriarchal roles in Roman Catholicism. Church of England's just started instructing female bishops, 10, 20 years ago back again. So if I think about Jesus' time, I think people were listening to the preaching of Mary, the mother, Mary Magdalene. They'd listen to what they say because they had a lot to tell you. And a perspective that Peter wouldn't give. Surely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that, Adam.
That's all right. It's free. Why Betty's not? Because the point Neil's talking about is that contentious line from Paul, isn't it? Which I don't think.
Have you ever read, Adam? I think it's called. I don't know exactly the title, but it's the Apostle Paul and Tekla.
Refresh me the story.
Okay, so the story is about Tekla. That she's a woman. She's promised to a man to be married, but she really doesn't want to because she listens to Paul preaching, and she catches on to the gospel and all that, and she doesn't want to get married, so she doesn't. And she's I think she starts sort of preaching herself, and at one point she is captured and put to be burned on the stake, but a heavy wind blows it out and she is freed.
Wow.
And she eventually, I'm just a short story, but I can just remember right now, is that she is living in a cave by herself and sort of abstaining from being married. So also women were basically in those times basically alone and not having or wanting to be married to men and to be deviled by men. Staying at
That's not the case.
Was it the same? Was it the same time, or was it a different time frame? Did she get a hold of Paul's readings, or it was the same time frame?
No, not reading. She was literally to him because she followed him.
Telling people not to have sex, not to get married. The end times are coming. Mm-hmm. That would make sense for him to preach that.
Exactly. That's
as far as Paul's concerned, Jesus will return before the end of his life, and that's his message when he evangelizes across.
Where are you reading this?
Well, Jesus said,
in the Bible.
No. He told the people that were waiting on a mountaintop for Jesus to come back to go about your business and live every day like the Lord's going to come back at any day. I didn't hear him saying that he was going to come back in his lifetime.
That might not be the case, but they still expected him back.
Yeah, Adam.
No, they didn't. No man knew the time. They knew that much.
That's
it doesn't clearly state that Paul said the Lord would come back in his lifetime.
Jesus
why
said
he's
also,
preaching no marriage, prepare.
oh my
Okay?
God, there you go with the
Well,
bluffing.
but he
Betty,
didn't say no
Betty, Betty,
marriage.
you're getting sandwiched, getting rumpused in between two guys, and just it's accentuating your point.
Yeah,
He did
exactly.
not say no marriage.
That freaking button is working right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Betty.
I'm just saying that Jesus said, be careful for the women that give suck at the times, right? When they are to flee to the mountains of Judea, right?
Correct.
So he did sort of give a warning out that it would be difficult having a child. So that might have stuck with these people and made them aware of that, right? You don't know what the times of what we sort of
Right. He was talking about the end times there.
we've been talking about now how we feel about things now, but how do these people back then felt when that was just preached? It was new that they didn't think that the world might go on forever and ever. They might have thought, okay, Jesus is gone, our God is gone, and now what is going to happen to us? It's going to be the end times soon.
I think from scripture you get that intonation from the peoples of the time, and just reading, there's not a specific statement made, but you get that feeling that a lot of people thought that it would come quick. Now they didn't know when, but quick. Remember the Thessalonians and
Yes, that's what I said.
Yes.
Wait on the mountain. But what about so you mean to tell me they didn't have Daniel that they were reading from?
Yeah, they did, but still, I think most people then felt, like I said before, that it was going to come a little quicker than 2,000 years later. That's what I'm trying to say. Not that they were correct, but you get the feeling that that's what they thought. Right?
Paul tells you to prepare. Yeah, it's about preparing for the end times. That's what I don't disagree. There's rhetoric change later on. Yeah, but his early preaching to me is that I'll reference it, Neil. I'll get some bits and bobs together just to. It's just from studying Paul how he's acting. Yeah, Christ's coming back soon, early on. Yeah, get ready, be fucking ready. Yeah, he's coming back. That's his message early on. Yeah, with real venom to me, real power and belief.
Yeah, that's why he went to all different places to preach. That's why he got shipwrecked, because the Lord is coming back. But as far as him coming back in his lifetime, I'm going to have to see. You got to show that to me clearly.
No, he's not going to be able to show.
The Lord was coming back in his lifetime.
He's not going to be able to. Listen, didn't you hear what I just said before, Neil? He's not going. Adam's not going to be able to give you that. I was just giving you the feeling I get from reading through scripture that a lot of those people, again, thought that it was going to be quick. That's it.
Remember that also there was a prediction of the second temple being destroyed, huh? And
Yeah.
Some of these people might also think that's the end, right?
They could if they weren't paying attention. Yes.
Yeah, well, how many people are not paying attention nowadays?
No, we're talking about those people, not any other people. Those people.
Too. Everybody is going about their day, and basically, they need to be watchmen too.
Yeah, that's true, but that's not part of this topic.
They were following Paul were watchmen. These people knew more than others and were aware of things, or at least watching out for things. All the Christians back in the day when in Jerusalem were away because they knew that something was going to happen, because signs were given to them to basically get the heck out of there before it would sort of be sieged and overrun.
Yeah, and most of the Christians did. They got out because it's stated in Luke, that one passage.
Really, Christians would be aware of that.
Yeah, the real Christians got out. They went to what's that place called?
Antioch?
Peleg? That's where right before the Romans attacked. Well, it took the Romans 9 months of surrounding Jerusalem, so there's time for people to get out. It wasn't like, oh, they're here, they're attacking. Nope. 9 months they encircled Jerusalem, right? And all the Christians remember what Jesus said. about no stone being left unturned.
Mm.
Right, and they got the heck out of Dodge, and I think they went. I think it was Peleg, if I'm not mistaken. Peleg, that name pops up
Oh,
or something.
it's in genealogy.
Say again?
It's in the genealogy of Jesus too.
I thought it was a place. Peleg.
Yeah, it's usually the places are also the names of people back in the days because they founded cities.
That name might be wrong.
Hmm.
Neil.
I could be mistaken on that name, but I think it started with a P.
I thought they'd go to Antioch because that was basically also the Christian place to start. Sort of a hideout.
Peleg is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible as one of the two sons of Eber, an ancestor of the Ishmaelites and the Israelites, according to the generations of Noah in Genesis 10:11 and 1 Chronicles 1.
Yeah, so my name might be wrong. Continue.
That's sort of like the pineal gland. Remember that guy? Pineal. It's a place.
Peniel.
Not the pineal.
Yeah, pineal,
Yeah,
pineal.
right.
Well, there's a place called Peniel where Jacob had a fight with an angel.
Right. And the guy came in and was trying to say that that's your gland. Where is that? Somewhere in the brain or something?
Mm-hmm.
Pella. See, I told you it started with a P. Pella.
Pella. Okay.
P-E-L-A-H?
P-E-L-L-A.
Okay.
Neil, got 1 Corinthians 7, 1 through to 40. Have a read and let's have a chat tomorrow, me and you. Concerning married life, concerning change of status, concerning the unmarried, and how you interpret that if you don't think there's no need to procreate.
Where is it? What'd you say? What's the scripture?
1 Corinthians chapter 7 verses 1 through to 40. Let's have a read and we'll have a chat, because to me like I said, that's the intonation that tells me Paul's like, guard your loins, it's time. That's a Freudian slip, but quite relevant. Guard your loins, it's time for Christ to return. That's his early message to me. That's how it reads through some of his advice to people.
And why was Rome destroyed in 70 A.D.?
Jerusalem.
Does anyone know why? There's a reason why.
Jerusalem, you mean, in 70 AD?
What did I say?
You said Rome, but I assume you meant.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, whoa. Yeah. Why was Jerusalem destroyed in 70 AD?
Current rhetoric.
No, there's a reason given.
Well, the way I understand it is it Vespasian? This is shortly after the year of 4 emperors. So there's lots of challenging for the title of Caesar. And Vespasian, I think, has been there on the conquests in Judea. Set down a number of the rebellions that have gone off. Goes to Alexandria, and as part of his push to become Caesar is, right, I'm going to go and conquer Judea. I mean, he's buggered off to Alexandria to do it. Sends in, I think it's Titus. But they go and sack the temple. Point being, if you go and look at the arches in Rome, you'll see the returning Vespasian. I'm saying Vespasian like, but I can't feel it's wrong. But you'll see him returning with the menorah, the golden menorah. That was, solid gold. So these are the things showing that he's a conqueror, that he should be.
That's what are you rambling on about? That's not what I asked.
Saying why was the temple sacked? I'm saying it's fundamentally And from a rap point of view,
Did Betty start? Was he
just to
snickering?
get votes.
Nope. No. So answer the question.
Who sacked the temple?
No, doesn't matter. It was Vespasian.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter to my question.
We've got an
It
issue.
doesn't matter to my question. Why?
Okay. It was such an open-ended question, wasn't it?
Betty.
Oh my god, I feel like looking a cow in the ass moment coming up.
Oh no.
You want me?
When you have something that you latch onto, you never let go. Really, you really never let go. You're like a pit bull, man.
Are you meaning for fulfillment of prophecy?
Yes.
Well, that's boring. That's obvious. It's written down. It's bleedingly clear. You don't have to research to know that bit, do you?
Well, what is it?
Vin?
Well, you have to search your heart, Adam.
No, you have to search Luke. I'll just go ahead and read it. I'll give you the reason why. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Luke 19:14, and when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, saying, "If thou..." This is a very good lesson, by the way. This has a connecting story. Saying, this is Jesus saying this, "If thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes. For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies," that's the Romans, "shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round," encircle the city, "and keep thee on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another." Here comes the reason why. You ready? "Because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation."
Yeah.
So Jesus is saying that Jerusalem is going to be destroyed because you didn't do your adequate Bible study.
They didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why there's really no Christians left in Jerusalem, because you can't call yourself a Christian if you didn't know that Jerusalem was going to be destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why they escaped the Pella. The Christians, when they seen the Romans compass thing about, they got out of Dodge.
Yep.
And it took 9 months because you had Vespasian, the chief captain there. I think somebody died. Who was that famous guy in Rome that, what the heck was his name? He was the emperor around that time.
Nero.
Nero
Yeah.
died while Vespasian was encircling, because that was the general that was in charge. I think it was the 5th, 10th, 12th, and 14th regiments that he had encircled the city, something like that. And he had to leave. So his son took over and led the siege on Jerusalem because the old man had gone. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep. There you go, Adam.
Vespasian then. It was Vespasian then. You said the same. You know when you're not sure and you're noggin. So it's either fulfillment or prophecy, or, as we've just both discussed, the Romans. I'm talking about the purpose for the Romans. The Romans didn't think, you know what, we've got to go and sort this bloody Jewish prophecy out. Let's go rectify that right now. That's not what that was the story. It's not why the Romans are doing it. Now, does it fulfill prophecy? Yes. Okay. But like Vespasian's not doing that. He's doing it for power. Okay. And this is. I want you to read the first part again. What's misses? Because this is what disappears at this point. The Torah disappears. Yeah, for 600 years.
What are you on about?
When they take the temple, they don't just take the menorah and all the treasures within it. They don't just rip everything, destroy it. They take the books. Yeah, there's a huge attack. Rome doesn't finish there. Yeah, Rome does not. For some reason, Rome is now out to destroy Judea and Judaism. So it takes all of the books, and this is part of the trust in Josephus, because when Vespasian takes over, Josephus becomes Josephus Flavius, which is the family name of Vespasian Flavius, isn't it? So he becomes a writer for the Roman Empire, describing Jewish history, which is the only thing we've really got. We've got, like I said, bits of Pliny and stuff. As for the ultimate authority on Jewish history, we've got this Jewish guy, Flavius, that Josephus, that's now describing everything. It's not till later, but everything's destroyed. Now, apparently, he's got access to the original that's been taken by Rome. But where do you think the original Torah resides, by the way?
Roman Catholic Church.
Involved. Yeah. He's the one that now... We're talking the other day, Neil, what is Jewish history? Jewish history is what Josephus writes under the director Flavius, yeah?
What's up
So
with
is that
these?
why
What's
this
up?
guy-
Hold up. What's up with you butchering these names? Josephus and friggin' Pliny.
Pliny and
It's
Josephus.
Pliny the Elder and Josephus, for goodness sakes.
Josephus
Stop
Flavius,
butchering the
yeah.
names. Is that why a guy? There's a guy
Josephus
Gregory
Flavius.
that came. There's a guy Gregory that came in 24/7, and he was saying that the terminology Christians that wasn't even started from maybe like 400 or 500 years ago. Is that true?
I don't know when.
How was Jesus referred to? Is what I would say.
I
The
don't
only
know-
quote when I look at that is the Nazarene. That's what Jesus was referred to. So I think maybe his early followers might have been called the same as what he was known as, either the Nazarene or can't see him
They
using
followed the way. It also
Yeah, it
says
was
they
the way.
followed the
Correct. Correct. So
the early titles don't matter and how the name morphs.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Well, he was trying to push that. He was trying to say that when they met together, they talked about, like the Hebrew things, like the coming of Jesus, and it was all about. I think he was part of the Hebrew roots. He says he wasn't, but as you listen more and more, it's a pushing away of Christianity and embracing the commandments and everything that's taught in the Torah.
Okay.
Well, speaking about Josephus previously, he wrote a lot of things about because he was in Jerusalem at the time. I think he was one of the protectors of Jerusalem. I think in the beginning, and he spoke about some really amazing things that happened in Jerusalem before the end time of Jerusalem. He spoke about that these doors of the temple would go open by themselves. And these doors were like massive. I think that maybe 40 people had to move these doors to close them every day and open them every day. And these doors would be open every morning, right? So one of these wonders or miracles happened. And also they wanted to sacrifice a cow, and that cow apparently was pregnant and was pregnant of a lamb. So the cow gave birth to a lamb, which is pretty miraculous, right? But also very, very much telling. And people don't read those things on what Josephus said, just previous before the whole Jerusalem was overrun. And also you have these Jewish people, some of these zealous people, they wanted Jerusalem to fall, and they burned their provisions, the food and stuff, right? Because they wanted to speed up the whole occupation. So there's many things that happened at that time that is really amazing. How that whole town went to basically, or the city was falling down.
Did it go down,
I
go
don't know.
boom, boom?
Anytime there's sorry, I was gonna say anytime there's a pushing to denounce the name Jesus, well, his real name is Yeshua. Don't use the name Jesus. Don't celebrate Christmas. Don't celebrate Easter. There's like a warning sign that tingles in the back of my head.
I found the maybe just to bring it to an end. I found the Josephus. Previous.
You had the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Ada, patata. This is from the Jewish War, book 2, chapter 8. For 3 forms of philosophy are pursued among the Judeans. This is what I was saying. New Testament mentions 2. The members of one are Pharisees, of another Sadducees, and the third school, who certainly are reputed to cultivate seriousness, are called Essenes. Although Judeans by ancestry, they are even more mutually affectionate than the others. Whereas these men shun the pleasures as vice, they consider self-control and not succumbing to passion's virtue, and although there is among them a disdain for marriage, adopting the children of outsiders, while they are still malleable enough for the lessons, they regard them as family and instill in them the principles of character. Without doing away with marriage or the succession resulting from it, they nevertheless protect themselves from the wanton ways of women, having been persuaded that none of them perseveres her faithfulness to one man. An indictment indeed, Betty, at the end, but that's his understanding, that there are 3 distinct Judaic sects within Palestine at that point.
Self-feeding thing from the Essenes, basically, because if you don't have any offspring, then
This is the point. So it's Pliny that
Pliny.
I think describes them in that more, Pliny the whiny. It's Pliny.
It's not Pliny.
Oh my God!
It's not.
Gotta be Pliny, because the second one's called Pliny the Second.
It's Pliny the Elder and Pliny the Younger.
Yeah, Pliny the Elder saw Vesuvius go, or the Etna. Was it the Etna or the Vesuvius volcano? Because he tried to save someone, he died in the volcano aftermath.
There, look. There's a disdain for marriage, adopting the children of outsiders whilst they are still malleable, enough to learn lessons, they will regard them as family. So it's an open community. Unless you're coming in and you're like, no, I believe this, you're welcome to come in and become an Essene.
Interesting.
There's a disdain if you turn up with your wife, by the sounds of it. So he's not far off. There's slightly varying descriptions, but basically, it seems like male paradise on Earth. What I could say.
Male paradise on Earth. Okay, I think that would be correct to have a paradise without women.
They nevertheless protect themselves from the wanton ways of women.
Oh, that is a dig.
I'm saying
It is. It's a stab.
That's an indictment.
Wanton.
That's
what does wanton mean? It doesn't sound good, Betty.
That's a soup that they serve in Chinese restaurants.
Oh yeah, with a nice bit. Yeah.
Well, explain it to me, John. What is wanton?
Definition.
Sexually unrestrained.
Oh, so all women are sexually unrestrained, huh?
Wantonness, they talk about it in Proverbs.
How many
right?
times have you been refused by your wives, guys?
Well, Paul teaches about that in 1 Corinthians, starting from.
They have to. So it's either you can't be correct as a woman in any way, because if you are wanton, then you are like a slut, and if you don't wanton, they have to because of the Bible says.
If you don't wanton, that's.
Yeah, it means that we are basically like the scapegoat for you guys.
Well, he gives the
It's that
instructions to
woman you
men
gave
too.
me. It's that woman you gave me, God, that did it.
That's right.
That's you guys. That's
He's
Adam.
got a point there, Betty.
He's got a point there, Betty.
Remember, it wasn't Adam that was
Oh, be
deceived,
careful.
but Eve.
Be careful, Neil. That's why he was sent out of the paradise, right? Remember? So if you agree with that, Adam, you are here correctly.
Well, he was the one that was deceived, right? That's what Paul teaches
Yeah.
when he says, "I suffer a woman not to teach."
He took that fruit willingly.
No, he took it
Yes.
because he loved her so much.
Yes, but willingly.
Correct.
He consented. She was deceived. He consented.
That's correct.
Now, question: did he see that she lost her glory?
Apparently not. I think he liked her more without clothes.
Right, because she had to once she ate it, right? So he had to see her with different eyes. I don't know.
The
That'd be
clothing
pointless for Adam, wouldn't it?
the nakedness
He
is
says
basically
that.
the nakedness of the glory, right? The glory of God. That's what she lost.
Right, but he had to be able to see that something happened, correct?
Yeah, he must have lost it for her then.
Maybe that was it.
Oh boy.
Maybe it wasn't her eating it that lost it. Maybe it was him eating it that lost it for them both.
That could be too, right? I don't know. I just know I got a word for both of them when I see them.
For the both of them.
What would you ask him, Neil? What would you ask him?
I would say, what the freak is wrong with you? You had everything. And then I would say to her, what is wrong with you? Why are you listening to a talking snake?
But that snake was a beautiful being.
Yeah, it doesn't mean snake. It
Yeah,
could
I know.
it could mean snake, but it has a definite other meaning.
Even if it did, Neil, talking snake. I'd listen to a talking snake, man. How cool is that? You're gonna listen. You're gonna over there, look, just a talking snake.
But they could
You're gonna
talk to
listen.
any animal, Adam. They had them under control. They had to basically mend the garden. Right?
If all it said was "come to me," you'd at least hear that.
Hello, he named them. As God brought him the animals, Adam gave them the names. Correct?
Yeah. But I mean, is that the only question you would ask them?
No, I think I'd go light on Adam.
You could go heavy on Eve, right?
I'd go a little heavier on Eve, but I'd go light on Adam.
Why? Because she lost accountability from you?
Yeah, she lost accountability for me. Yes, because he's a type of Christ. It's a type. Remember?
Yeah, Christ is the second Adam.
Yeah, they called him. Why'd they do that? Why'd they call him that?
Because the first Adam was right, Adam. Jesus is known as the second Adam because he was not created in the same way through procreation, right?
No, that's not
Holy
the reason.
Spirit overshadowed. All right, go ahead, tell me.
All from love and rise from love.
There you go. Adam's all over this because Eve, he loved Eve so much that he took on her sin himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow, I never
voluntarily,
seen it like
by the way.
Never seen it like that. Wow.
Yeah, and females in Scripture, churches are described as females all throughout Scripture.
Exactly. That's why the bride of Christ is female, of course.
Adam, you never cease to amaze me, Adam.
Adam? That's
Why
not
are you not
Adam.
Christian?
That was me.
Yeah, but Adam also caught on to this.
Oh, Adam caught on to it. Yeah, I think you heard us talking about this before.
Or he's
that doesn't
come to that conclusion himself previously.
All right. Praise retracted.
Thank you. I don't want to lose that lovely title you gave me of Antichrist for some reason. God forbid I'd redeem myself in some way.
Yeah. So listen. We're gonna wrap it up.
Nathan wanted you to show a video of 6 minutes.
Did he?
Yeah, he earlier when we started talking Bible, he was trying to get us to watch a 6 minute.
Watch one of his videos? I didn't see
It'll
that
be about
message.
speakers, won't it, or amps?
It is don't trust the YouTube conman Simon Dan video.
That was probably a long time. I didn't see it,
He said it was 6 minutes long.
and he definitely requested me to play it.
Yeah.
Get the message.
Let me see if I can snatch it up. It's there's no times attached to it anymore.
I'll bet he's looking.
Can I release my new video? Are you ending? He says. And then he says, I'm going to risk it, be right back, let me spam it. And
That's
then
not telling me to play it.
Oh, well, okay. Maybe you need to pin the message on top then.
Do not trust YouTube. Is it the do not trust YouTube? Conman Simon Dan not explains why.
Now I'm wondering if I'm getting this right.
Yeah, you're not.
Okay.
I was right.
But it's 6 minutes long. I'm thinking, okay, if it's 6 minutes, then it's a short video, but it's not. Okay.
Yeah. So
it's from Nathan.
Yeah, he's just announcing it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap things up. For this week, remember we have BALLBUSTERS Saturday. This is gonna be a tight one. I got a feeling that I'm gonna get the screws put to me here. I got a lot of stuff happening Saturday. However, BALLBUSTERS will run as best as I know right now at 2 p.m. U.S. Central, and it will be the scientific evidences for a creator. So make sure you guys are all there. Hope you got a lot out of the Flat Earth Proof today. We haven't gone over it in a very long time, but that doesn't mean that the Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile Block 1 doesn't have teeth. It still got them, and they're sharp incisors. So y'all be cool. Hope you got a lot out of the discussion today, and we'll catch you on Saturday. BALLBUSTERS, Scientific Evidences for a Creator. And remember, on Saturday, I'll be back.
The force of gravity is a force created by gravity. The force of gravity is a force created by gravity.
According to the general theory of relativity, gravity is not a force. There are no gravitational fields. Gravity is kind of an illusion.
The force of gravity is a force created by gravity.
According to the general theory of relativity, gravity is not a force.
The force of gravity is...
You are so dumb. Damn.